Hi. Good afternoon, good evening, good day, wherever you are in the world. This is Carol Matebula once again with her channels and keep on doing them. I don't know if they're growing, but I hope that they'll grow in time because there's so much to share of my experiences being in Europe since 2002. What I have learned, what I have discovered, what I have seen, and what makes me keep moving. I'm drinking my herbal tea, on the every Monday. It's kind of my detox day where I drink lots of. I eat garlic, I drink herbs, I do lots of belly treatments just to keep my health going. So this is my a mixture to keep me healthy and going. As life, we need to be strong in this crazy world that we're living in, isn't it? It's really a crazy world. So today I am talking about, how it is to run a business in Europe as an African. Hmm. What are the things that you experience as an African? Because I mean, let's really be realistic and be very honest. Because of I think people don't express themselves, people don't talk. We talk racism, we talk that's completely a minor details in really what the story is in this life that we're living in. And I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about my experiences. I'm going to talk about it does not matter who you are, what you have done, unless if you belong to a certain clique of people that are seemingly known, or unless if you have studied into some institutes and I don't know. Sometimes I wonder what makes us really succeed. What makes us, especially if we have decided to be better citizens in the world. Because remember, life is very difficult. We choose what we want to be. We choose who we want to be. So everything is really reciting on the choices that we choose. Now, the difficulties are in these choices of ours. You decide that, you know what, I'm going to be Carol Matebula. And as Carol Matebula, I'm going to go around the world and do the best I can with the knowledge I have from my ancestral and share with the world. And you realize that really the world wants this. The world wants it. The world wants it. But the biggest dilemma that I have learned is that everybody wants what you have for themselves. It's in business, running a business in Europe as a Black woman, especially coming from Africa. Especially from Africa, I feel that poor Africans. I'm realizing that being an African in Europe, it is one of the most difficult things that you can ever experience. But because we are so resilient, because we are so strong, and I'm talking about not racism, I'm not talking about all these small pities of what has happened in the past, through slavery and us being colonized and all that. I'm talking about what we go through daily. So I'm going to number these things down so you can really understand and really realize that I'm not talking about race, but I'm talking about the layers of society. Because remember, societies are designed in layers, and these layers, that's how people can define their strength. That's how people can define their power. That's how people can define who are you and where you belong to. When we talk about boxes, please don't take that as small. These boxes do exist. And these boxes, it's a strategy of survival. Everything it's very designed very well for survival. Now, having to be doing vibrantly, I mean Voncoa since 2002, I have reached to the lots of people, and it has been phenomenal in terms of my art, the art of me understanding a body. It's really incredible. I see it on myself. I see how I look after my health. using this method that I have acquired from my ancestor, or from my great grandma, who died when she was really, really old, and my great grandpa who understand medicinals, and I'm driven. My life, it has been the essence of me staying healthy, staying younger, using the system that I got from the backyard of my family, whereby I turned it into business. Now, having to be in this journey of we call business. And remember, business as well, it's life, because I tell you something, true business encounters, that's when you learn life to the core. Because of true friendship, people can hide themselves. We can either be fully there for our friends, or we can actually play as if we are friends with the people around us, but we're not. Now, when it comes to business, you get to engage to people in the core of who they are, in the core of their power, capacities, and capabilities. Now, my dilemma in Europe is that there are lots of things that I have went through that has really, really scarred me. And it's not complaints, it's just really the fact. And yesterday I dreamt actually about this mumbo jumbo in the world of business and in the world of center stage, where we present ourselves and say, this is my art, this is who I am, and how quickly you can be squashed into a bottle, because people are very terrified when you present strength, especially if you come from Africa. And this is something that I really, really want to talk about. So, what are the challenges that you get as an African running businesses in Europe? Firstly, number one, it's people thinking that you are not worth to be respected. Yes, we come to you because of you've got something that we need, and we know that you're very good at it, but we just want it. And we will laugh with you and make you as if you are one of us. But the moment we get that, we out. And we do, and then after we out, we're going to minimize you and scar you to what you think you are. Once we have it, it's ours. So in this 2000, since I've been working 2002 in Europe, I have never gotten a clear partnership because of I stand on my own. I have never, as I've said before, yes, I have worked in some companies just to do kind of research, but in my mind, in my spirit, I have never worked for anyone. So I'm one of those who, when I work, I'm looking for collaborations, people who stand on their own, and then I stand on my own, and then we embrace each other. But what I have realized over the years is that you work your butt off, and as you're working, and you try to create, people value what you do. People are really, really fascinated by your art of work. But these people, they believe that because of you from Africa, you do not deserve to have that strength. Who the hell do you think you are to be strong in the world? Who the hell do you think you are to think that you can do something by yourself in this world? Now, these are close to people that you have encountered, people that you can touch. And they'll organize groups, and in a second they've got groups. And the whole thing is that they're not even engaging to you, they're engaging in what they want to get out of you. And so me, because of I'm very intelligent, and my intelligence is that I read these eyes of mine, these ears of mine, this mouth of mine, my body, all that I am. I learn the world. I learn how the world scar one another. And because of I learn this, no one can come into my world and play the card of she's an African. And this is where a business, as you run business as an African, it's very difficult. And now you got to make a decision at that moment. Am I just going to give and run around like without a head as an African just to belong? Or am I going to really preserve what is rightfully mine? because I got it from my ancestral by not me dragging it around because of they think African wants to be loved or Africans, if you're an African, at least because of you are next to us, you should say thank you. And I say, no, 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 it's not like that, dear friends. And this is really me talking about the essence of business. When you come to me and you're going to work with me, you are working with a human being just like you. When you come to me and you want me to teach you, you also have to remember that I hold something that I represent my ancestors. Now, the fact that I represent my ancestors, what I'm going to present to you, it is I'm going to assess what you think of this gold and diamond of my ancestor. Do you think it's something that it just needs to be given away so that Carol can say, "Oh, thank God, they're liking my"? And no, I'm not to be liked. I'm not in this world to be liked. I'm not in this world to be loved. I'm in this world to share and live together as one equal souls. And when I say being an African, I'm talking about all race. I'm talking about blacks. I'm talking about whites. I'm talking all those who come from Europe. They think that Africa is something small, and I felt this to the core, and I thought to myself, what am I going to do really to talk about this? We are not small. We aren't. We are not coming from that world where you think this advertisement that you see that kids will fly on their mouth and all that. And Africa, you've got your own ideology of Africa, which is really, really nothing of my Africa. So as a person running a business, I'm saying to the people out there who undermine Africa to the core, the moment you undermine someone, you really have to ask yourself, where is your confidence? Why do you undermine? Because when we are undermining something, we are actually undermining ourselves. Now, these are the issues that I want to tackle. I want to tackle real issues that I am experiencing as an African in Europe. And these experiences are very, very difficult. But as difficult as they are, I stand corrected. Now, recently, I organized for 3 years now. This year I canceled it. I really, really canceled it because I thought there it is again, this thing. And it's not because of you do not know what you're doing. As an African, running your own business, relying on your own spiritual power, your own resilientness, your own strength that you were paved right when you left Africa. Most of us, those who come from Africa, we are paved because of we understand what is the language of the universe towards us as Africans. So most of African people, they are very, very, very strong and do not take that for granted. And I'm saying this because I've experienced and it took me years because I was so naive. When I came to Europe, it was me sharing the beauty of Africa and see and so that also the Europeans could share the essence. And when I say Europeans, I'm talking about the blacks and the white, because these are the people that I'm busy engaging with the most on the daily basis. And so when you see me, do not see something gullible. Do not see something that you can just alter and turn around towards your own belief system that how I should be. Look at what I have to offer. Look at how comfortable I am. Be comfortable, because when you are comfortable, it's easier for us to give each other that strength and that power that God gave us so beautifully within the two of us. He gave us two different lands for us to grow up from. And because we come from a different land, we've got something to share, because of each and every land has different flowers and different trees. So the melody of each and every earth, it's different. But do not mock me because of the world, what the world presents to you, this stupid storyline that it's created, because of people judge one another via the storyline of the media channels. Africa has been broken for years. Even today, it's still being broken by small, narrow-minded people who sit around on a four little boxes we call TV, watching news. And this news are working, they're working hard on every second of every hour of every minute. Some of them not sleeping, scarring Africa to the core. Now, you have to realize that Africa, even today, it feeds the world. When I realized that France takes billions of Africa year out, year in, year out, that we make the resources of the world, the most richest continent in the world, it's Africa. We wouldn't have this mobile phones if it wasn't for Africa. We wouldn't have all the technology that you see out there that we use today if it wasn't for Africa. Africa is raped on a daily basis where people go and dig holes in it to scar its minerals because of most of people have holes within themselves. As they are digging holes into our continent, they're also digging holes in our souls, making us believe that we are not good enough as we are. The knowledge that we have, it's to be taken, and we're just being chucked away because of we are poverty, we are hungry. The only thing that you need to give out an African, it's food. The only thing that you need to say to an African, you're a crook, you're not fake, you're fake, you're not real. All these horrible things, but none of people around the world looks at you as a human being, as an African. And this I've experienced. When I got to the United Kingdom, I met lots of people from Nigeria, lots of people from Ghana who grew up there, and all the humiliation that they went through because of they were Africans. Some of them had to even hide that they were born in Africa. Who the hell do you think you are by treating Africans the way you do? And in business, this it's reflected back to us that you have no stage for business. And I'm saying, you know what? Actually, I'm not a business. I am the one who holds the secrecy of Africa when it comes to understanding how the body moves. And that's also another thing that we don't understand, that we live in a society where we're living for now, and we're thinking that everything comes from now. Yes, it's important to live from now, but it's also important to know that there are hidden secrecy that has resided in this world as Africans for thousands and thousands and thousands and zillion thousands of years. And some of us, we hold that secrecy. And now, the moment you know that you hold a secrecy of your ancestrals, my great grandmom used to say, as we die as Africans, that's why it's important to bury people under the earth, because of our bones. It's a foundation of earth. Everything that dies has to go under the earth, and then it creates another earth. So we are ever changing earth. That makes the earth to be. That's why we die. That's why we're born. And me, I hope that I don't do Voncoa because of I'm just doing massage. Some people have came into my courses in London, which I didn't give them certificates, and I wouldn't because of they didn't deserve to have certificates. Yes, they left with the technique, and then after they left with the technique, they thought that, oh, we've got a technique now, and then they start telling me that I do things for money, and I said, were you worth to have the certificate of Nkua? Were you worth to have the certificate of my great grandma? Because of why? We check the spirituality, we check, and this is you can share your comments. For me, it is how much you respect me. It's how much you look at me as one of you. But the moment you come with this mumbo jumbo nonsense of, oh, I'm from Europe, I've been living in Europe for a long time, and you are from Africa, you do African massage, give me African massage, you're already dismissed. Because I honor my ancestors. You having the certificate of Nkwa in your hands, it's actually having my ancestral approval of your spirit, approval of your energy, approval of you can't come and scam me because of you need to go and do things for money. And you think that, okay, because I've done Voncoa, she's gonna give me a certificate, I can go around in the world and say I do Voncoa. No way, no how. Now, even if I do not have to have clients, that's it. I hold something of my ancestral, which is, in Africa, we had a woman who used to call the rain. We used to call her the rain master. And she would go to the mountain when rain was not there for years. And they will pray these people. We still have those people. They will pray. She will go into the mountain for 7 days and she will stay there nakedly day and night and trying to call rain until she starts feeling the wetness entering her feet, and she will start sweating like crazy. And at that moment, she was communicating with the powers of the rains. So Vunkua has that element too. So when you enter into Vunkua, you're not entering into the institution of the Western world, how the Western world teaches the art of massage. You're not entering into Vunkua to study because of the Western world does it this way. You're entering into the space of the ancestral. And because of I teach from the ancestral point of view, I get a lot of difficulties. So these are the number one step that I find, how to preserve what is given to you from the ancestrals and share it with the world through that respect. You have to voice it out, because of people think that because of they're studying for to make money, they come in and you can see that they are close to the core. We have women who scar their bodies to try to have leaps, to try, and this women comes into my center stage, and you can completely see that they are not connected with themselves, and they start wanting me to do what they do, and you have seen that they have forgotten themselves. I, on the other hand, as an African woman who grew up into the hardship of Africa, not because of Africa, those who came and minimize us and believe that they have minimized us to the core, has destroyed our way of living in Africa. They have minimized the standard of our living in Africa because of their greedy, and the greediness goes on daily. And when I say there's no racism, it's a systematic. The systematic of the world, it's done so sneaky. It's like a snake that it's attached on your body and you're not even aware of it. And this snake says, as an African, you are not good enough. As an African, somebody told me recently that, why did you call vibrantly African? You could have called it something not African. And I'm thinking to myself, how sad, how sick the world is. And because that's why I'm raising out and I'm saying Africa, it is a very powerful land. I think it's really high time, especially the Africans who are not born in Africa, really try to start finding out the secrecy of Africa through the Africans that you meet. Remove this hypnosis that you have, because that's a form of racism as well. That's why I say, for me, racism, I'm not busy with racism. I'm busy with the systematic behavioral, because this systematic behavioral, you get it to everyone. You get it either to the blacks who think that they are the only one who are controlling the earth. They are like the ministers and whoever. I'm around everyone, and that's why I can speak, because of, for me as a human being, I hang around with everyone. I hang around with the people on the street. I love them. Love to sit there and hear and really eat with them and sit down and find out who they are, what has made them, why they decided to take the most difficult decision for them to either to let go of this so-called protection of the world and find themselves. And you'll find amazing, the most enriching things always came from the people who slept on the street. Why? Because myself, there was a moment where I found myself living on the street because of the circumstances that Africa goes through. So when you come to me and try to be, you have to understand I have walked the world. And because of I have walked the world, if you come and learn, do not minimize my academy. Do not minimize me. So these are the challenges that I get. And another challenge is that you have these so-called marketing companies. I have spent lots and lots of money promoting my work. Now they get your money, and suddenly they're gone. And then you start sending bills. They send you bills. And then you ask them, what have you done for my work? And what they do, because of I have done lots of promotion myself. If you go on Google, you'll find me everywhere because I've been everywhere. I've been to Germany, I have mentioned this before. And they expect you to pay. And because of you're an African, people believe that you do not speak. And you know what? I always warn. And I said, I'm not going to pay while you sip your coffees and cappuccinos in a corner and use me as an African because of you can hear and you think I'm going to pay. I have never paid anyone. And I tell them, you give me what I want, I pay you. You don't give me what I want. You do not design my world as I have asked you to design it. And you're charging me 100 and something per month and thinking that you're going to get 1,000 something for me while you have never done nothing. And I said no to that. And this happens over and 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 over again. And you find and then another thing is, well, it's Google. I mean, I find it really, really hard that as advanced as I am, as I have been using Google for so many years, and you do videos of your massages, and you realize that once a white woman comes in and says she does the African massage, suddenly this person is on top of your list. But you realize you have been doing the African massage. You're the one who actually instigated the African massage. But so there are racism. There's no such a thing as racism. Let's be very honest. It's a systematic that holds you back because that's the thing that the world goes around doing, isn't it? If I hold you back, you don't have money, you can't go and empower your people, because actually empowering your people is exactly what we are fighting for. That's where the politics lies upon. You can have the most amazing person sitting next to you, smiling with you because of they need what you have. Immediately they have it, they start sending you messages. Oh, this thing of yours, it does not work. It does not work because that. But they have been using you for 10 years. Now, what are they doing? They're doing that systematic behavioral of saying to you, as an African, you are not good enough. I've got it now. Now I'm going to scare it out of you because I've got it in my hands. And these are the things that I deal with on a daily basis. And you ask yourself, whenever you ask people to come, people come back, and you go back, you give this white women and education, and you realize that you have people that you have worked with them for over 10 years, they're still coming back to your treatments. But this white woman, once she's done with you, she then sends you a message and say to you, no, your massage does not work. I have told you before that your massage does not work. But she keep on calling you that you go and you give her the treatment. And what happens then? It's that systematic that tries to say to you as an African woman, you are not good enough. So we as Africans, how do we see these names? How do we stay in our confidence? And I say to you, the only way for you to stay in your confidence, it's admire your continent. It's realizing that the continent of Africa, it's great in many ways. So these are the difficulties that you go through. And another thing, I have made products which are amazing products, and I got so scared that I lost them again. In 2011, all my products was taken by Europeans. They took them. I had worth about 85,000 worth of products, and they were taken out of me by the 2 European men, and they were stuck into their cellars until they were rotten. And at that present moment, that's when my products were on the peak of their game. I was sending products to Saudi Arabia. I was sending products to Germany. I was sending products to France. I was sending products to Holland. I was sending products to Belgium. I was also sending products to Nigeria. And at that moment, immediately at that moment, I remember one of the men traveling with me today. I was invited for the first time to be a speaker in Poland. And this man said to me, now, how does an African come in Europe and break the barriers of our what do you call those places of our borders, doing what you do. Where did you get that strength? And I smiled. I thought this was the, how do you say that? I thought this was the, I thought he was kind of embracing me. I thought it was like, wow, this guy is really fascinated by what I've done. But within a blink of an eye, the man invested, and after he invested, they took everything from me. They took my website, they took my email, they took everything. Once again, an African woman was thrown back into the street because I didn't have lawyers as an African where I could go and ask for help from my African people and say, this is what I'm dealing with. How do I solve this? And my dreams were just pushed into the gutter. And 3 years later, after the products were rotten, they were given back to me. So it's really hard. Being an African, it's not that you're stupid. You are raped as your world is raped. And these are the issues that I'm trying to find out. How do I stay who I am with such a massive knowledge around the body that I have, and lots of people know about it, including I had lots of fibroids that I went for the first time in Europe for them to do something with it, and my body just escalated to this misery of pain. I couldn't even walk. I would walk and I would have to stop because of my body was not the body that I knew. And you know what I said to myself? I said to myself, from now on, I'm not going to go to no Western world to look after my body. I'm going to use my great-grandmom's way of dealing with my body. Today, I am pain-free. I don't have pain. I'm strong as ever. My weight is going back to what it was, because suddenly after they did that, my body started losing weight. I started gaining this belly. It's like I was kind of deformed, actually. But the fibroids remained. And so what I did whatever in my power to bring the voices of my great-grandmom on how to look after the body. Suddenly, I'm back again into health. So there are many things that scars you as an African in Europe, as an African in Africa. Because on top of that, we then have these ones who are protecting the Black people in Africa, who are protecting the systematic of the world, who are protecting the racism that has been designed, because of suddenly they have realized that it actually has benefits. And these Africans are the ones who are in politics, are the ones who are around the world in so-called embassies. And these people were supposed to be there to help the community, to give the community answers. Oh no, they think they are on a pedestal, and quickly they throw you down, and you can feel the racism. So today I'm saying to you guys, especially the Africans, do stay clear of who you are. Do not try to fit in. Know that you're fighting a battle that has been fought for thousands and thousands of years. Remember, you're fighting a war that once upon a time I would be killed talking this way. Today, at least we can use our voices. Never in your mind think that we're living in a new world and I've got a ways to survive. Please do not. Rather, get together, share each other's knowledge, and go out there in the world for those who admire you. Because when I say the racism, it's not everybody who's racist. There are people who are lovely out there who would work with you because of they want to work with you. But be very vigilant as an African. Be vigilant in this system where they want you to remind you of who you are, where you come from. There, you got to be very careful. So, having to speak about my products being taken, now 2 years ago, I started again bringing my products. I phoned France. I was given products that they were not well. The leads were not working. Everything was leaking. And I phoned them, these people, nothing was done. And I lost so many products. And at the end of the day, I had to pay them. But because of I have no way to run, they in Europe I find that you are forced. It's like a robbery. It's like a robbery, really. They do things to you knowing that you have nowhere to run because of you're an African. And I had to throw away these bottles. And my even where I live today, I'm being charged for the floor to fix it because of the products that they were leaking everywhere. And nobody did nothing about it. And you know what? I had nowhere to go. So what I'm saying is that you are robbed daily, day out, day in, day out, every second of every minute, because of they think you're an African. That's what you deserve. It's very hard to be an African. That's why some people go into this scamming people, getting money people, because they have realized if we do it a good way, anyway, we're going to be scarred anyway. So there's so many ways that I see as an African today and saying to myself, how can I be a part? Since 2002, if you look at my website and everywhere, I have trained lots of people. And once again, I have been scarred, my money being taken and being given. One of the things that just happened recently was that I had internet connection with Vodafone for about 3 years. And what happened then, Vodafone took my business away from me. As I was doing Vibrantly African, everything was going so well. And it was like a systematic. It happened in a very strange way that by the moment where we were enforcing now to make Vibrantly work, which was the most amazing plan for me to engage with the people who are of Africa, yes, with other people, but the most African people in the health and well-being industry. Suddenly, my internet was cut. And I phoned day after day after day. And that affected my business big time. And I told them that you guys, you've got to help me because this is for business. And no one helped me. And I moved to another server. It was the same story. Within a month, I went to 4 services that gives internet connection, and none of them gave internet connection, but I was paying. And once again, as an African, I had to just take my empty bag, run, and nothing was solved. And can this happen to anyone really, where you're using companies? And even today, I've got cell phones that they gave me here of theirs as a contract, and I went and canceled them. And I thought to myself, this is nonsense. You do that, I'm going to cancel. Though they didn't lose that much, I lost. So that's what I'm saying. Running a business in Europe as an African, it's very difficult. Not because of you are not good at what you do, not because the world believes that Africans don't deserve respect. The world believes that Africans don't deserve a sense of togetherness. The world has created a kind of a duplicate of Africans who they can relate with, because of these Africans. How do you say it? They conduct the principles of this racism life to their own people because of they are kind of partners in crime. Politicians. I get invited in these places, and I see that they don't even talk to their own people. They only shine when they see those who are white, and these people are black, and you see them with their fake blonde hair, you see them with their polished English, walking as if they have lost themselves. So I think why I'm doing these videos, you guys, it's saying that you are an observer of your world. Say what you see. It does not matter what comments you get. Do be aware. One other thing that I want to say as well, this is for South Africa. ANC, it's just the most stupidest political association of all our times. They are all around in Europe. I've met them. They play the card of, are you ANC? And it's only a few people there who think that they are there, and they're not caring about their community. Either you are well informed, either you are, So African people, wake up and realize that you do not have to be a part of this manipulation in the world around Africans. And I'm saying this to say this is what I see, and I hope it changes. I hope that when you see me next time, you don't value me as an African, but you value me as a woman. You value me as one of you. See how much I embrace you, because I like to embrace life. I can never be the best on my own, because I'm actually here to serve you, and you are here to serve me. This thing of, you are from Europe, you are from da da da, you are from da da da, you are from the third world, you are from, it's just a nonsense systematic storytelling to make others inferior, to make others feel less of themselves. And I will never feel less because I was born in Africa. So this is my story of what are the hiccups we get in Europe. Oh, and another thing is that you pay you rent an apartment, and then after you rent an apartment, you have paid them everything, and suddenly people have your deposit. And it's always the case that as an African, you are not giving your deposit. And me, I said, no, no way, no how. My money, it's my money. I work hard for it as you work hard for it. You take your money, you give me back my money. And if you don't give me back my money, you don't get your money. So what I normally do, if I live in an apartment, and this is what I do, on a month when I'm about to go, I don't pay the rent. I don't. I'm sick and tired of rules and regulations, contracts. These contracts has got me. I have been in apartments for so many times where my deposit never came back to me. They tell you to pay 3 months deposit, you'll get that money back. Now, when you're about to leave, they start claiming things that you have done wrong. You have done that wrong, and you are bad to leave that place without your money. It's either 3,000, 4,000. It's always taken, and on top of that, they want you to pay more. And me, I say, let's not enforce rules on people. Let's live with honesty. You've got my money, you pay me my money back because it's my money. Do not come with storytelling. So it's hard. It's hard. It's hard to be an African when you are looking through the eyes of reality and honesty and try to find out where it is your place in this world. So as an African, you are told that you don't have a place in this world. As an African, you are told to sell your soul so that you can belong to so-called the high society. As an African, you are twisted for you not to be of the third world, to be of the high society, of the golden long tables with oysters and all that. And when you can go in there, then you're a part of them. And you have to also change your behavior now so that you can fit in. And me, I say, I don't want to fit in. You keep your golden spoons, because I've seen the golden spoons. I've seen castles. I've seen all these things. And I say to myself, I want to be an African, rightfully an African. And I want to be embraced for my knowledge. I do not want to be embraced just, make it feel as if you come to me and you want to be my friend because of you think that you're doing me a favor. The door is there within a blink of an eye. You want to be my friend because of I'm Carol, not the one who's holding the continent Africa? Then we talk. So this is Carol today, saying it as it is. Being an African in this world, racism, if you get someone on the street insulting you, I'd rather have that person who's going to insult me and tell me that I'm black. That is nothing. But the racism that is bigger than anything, it's the one that blocks you so that you don't breathe, so that you are afraid, so that the knowledge you have, you don't believe that it's good enough. That's the racism that you have to look at as an African. And look at those Africans around you who has made the majority of African people as if they're nothing. Only there are few of them in Africa. are enjoying the life. And where do they buy their clothes? Louis Vuitton. They don't even know who's Louis Vuitton. What cars do they drive? They don't come with their own technology. I mean, I think it's time. That's why I love EFF. I wish I could be a part of EFF because EFF sings the same story as I. It's high time that as African kids and women and men, we really realize and we fight for our space in this world to be respected in all angles of life. So racism, it's beyond what we think racism is. Racism is to make you believe that you have to, you know, bow for some sources for you to be able to live. And if you don't bow for sources, you struggle, as Carol is struggling today. But you know what? Financially, yes, I'm struggling, but with the richness that I have, I stay corrected and say, I am an African and I shall stay an African. And I am not a guinea pig of the gabbishness that the world tends to create around Africa, making Africa as if it's a garbage bin where they throw all their emotional imbalances, where they throw all their fears of themselves, and at least they have a continent called Africa that they can come and vomit on and make themselves stand corrected in this world. That's not who I am. So this is Carol Matebula saying as it is, share your comments and subscribe for these videos of mine. So today was really a business, but it was politically how I struggle. And these discussions of mine will change as I am still living in Europe, discovering, continuing with my researches. So Carol, she's here. Bye for now.